with people on LinkedIn, but how to drive your business by using a tool that's like a sales assistant. And I'm really excited about having him here today. Joe, I'm grateful for you showing up.
Thank you so much for inviting me to show up. I'm really excited about this incredible event. It's going to be so much fun to connect. So, and I'm seeing we have so far over a dozen people here. So go ahead and in the comments put in your LinkedIn URL so we can kind of get to know you guys. And that's one of the best ways to get to know people is to look at their LinkedIn profiles and see what they're up to. And so we're also going to be talking about your LinkedIn profiles and teaching you some things that will allow you to be able to take your business to the next level.
Got two more. Here we go.
Hey, Jacqueline, good to see you.
Thanks, Joe. Nice to see you too.
And if you guys want to also write where you're dialing in from in the chat, feel free to go ahead and put that in. I want to make sure that everyone knows how to use the chat well. If you don't know how to use the chat, now's a good time for you guys to practice using the chat. So this way you can communicate with me along the way. And Evan, if you are recording, that's great.
Well, I'm doing
I
it
thought I
on
heard.
Fathom. Is that
Okay.
okay? Or do you want
I'm
me to
okay
do
with
it?
that. If you want to have an actual recording of it, hit record. So this way, in case Fathom doesn't pick up something or whatever it is, you can record it on your computer. Or I can just hit the record button here.
Yeah, I made you co-host, so.
All right. Welcome, everybody. This is a webinar that we put together thanks to Evan. Evan arranged this. So we want all of our AI Pro members to be hosting events on a regular basis. Evan already hosts an event inside the community, but it's also nice when you host an event outside the community so that you can invite your entire community to the event. And Evan does have over 9,000 followers on LinkedIn. But what's the point of having 9,000 followers if you can't put an event together and have dozens of people show up to it? And so it's really powerful when you're able to bring dozens of people together in a community and host your own events. This has been one of the most powerful things that I've done. So, Evan, do you want to tell everyone why you decided to put this event together briefly, and then we'll get the ball rolling?
Absolutely. Well, Joe has been gracious enough when I saw him present. I thought I knew a lot about LinkedIn. And then I saw him present and he blew my mind. And that's how I knew that Joe was the one to help me grow my LinkedIn. And I went from 400 followers to now, or 400 connections to nearly 9,000 followers and over almost 8,000 connections. But more importantly, he's helped me grow my business significantly. And right now, we all have the same amount of time in the day, right? So the key here is how do we save more time? How do we get more done with less? And this tool that he's created has given me that opportunity to get so much more done and then get back to doing what I love to do, which is coach my clients. So that's why I use Evie AI because it really makes a difference.
So there are certain activities that you have to be doing every single day in order for you to be an effective networker. Can you guys guess in the chat what those activities are? Go ahead, put them in the chat, and let me know what you think those activities are that you need to be doing on a daily basis in order for you to be able to really benefit from networking in general. Because people often ask me, does networking even work? When I kind of laugh a little bit when people ask me that, does networking even work? Because the real question is, do you work? Are you doing the work, or are you hoping to get lucky? Like, are you hoping to get lucky? And I just want to let you know, I read a book called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer many years ago. And somebody that gave me that book gave me another one called like Untethered something else, Awaken Untethered or whatever. And the guy talks about how we're basically just all stardust. That's what we basically are. Like, all the galaxies, everything in the world is just basically a star that exploded. And the aftermath of that is all the carbon and everything that we're made up of. All the minerals that we're made up of came from a star that exploded or whatever, something like that. Anyway, the idea is that we already are lucky that we're alive. We're lucky that we're here. We're lucky that we have a platform called LinkedIn. Most people don't have access to such a platform. Most people don't even know the platform is something that works. People think, oh, It's just a tool to find a job. And it can be just a tool to find a job, but it could be so much more than that if you learn how to use it properly. Just like your relationships. Before I learned the concept of networking, I didn't think networking was even a thing. I didn't even know it was a thing. Did you know that most people, when you say, what can I do to add value to your life? They're going to be like, what do you want from me? Like, what do you want to take from me? I'm like, no. I just literally came here to give. And they don't understand the concept of like, hang on a second, but they're like, I don't need anything from you because then you're going to ask me for something later. And I was like, no. I'm literally a giver. That's my philosophy. I'm here just to give to you without asking for anything in return. Like that doesn't exist in their universe. So 90% of people are living in survival. That's why most people don't have $1,000 in savings, because that's their mindset. That's the way that they're looking at life, of like taking, and everything's just a big take. Somebody said they went to hell, and in hell what they saw was, this is like a parable, in hell what they saw was everybody had tons of food. The problem was taking food, trying to feed themselves, and everybody was fighting because they couldn't help. They couldn't eat. They were starving. Then he went to heaven. He saw the same thing. Tons of food. Everybody had long hands. But in heaven, everybody was feeding each other. Isn't that interesting? And so the whole concept of like helping each other without asking for anything, if you take that on and then you enter a platform with 1.2 billion people in it, and then you realize that it's not just randos, because you have everybody's first name, last name, company name, where they work, where they went to school, and everything about them that people are sharing, whereas on Instagram, they just share Big Betty 2473. That's all you see, a little tushy shaking. That's all you see, literally. You guys ever checked my feed on Instagram? I don't know why Instagram shows me that stuff. Maybe because I turned the filter off. Maybe that's what I did. Maybe there's a filter you can turn off so you can start seeing all the most terrible things. Anyway, I'm going to share my screen right now because I want to show you guys. And yes, I do like to laugh and I do like to have fun. So if you like to have fun, write fun in the chat, because I do love to have everything that I do. I want to have a good time. I have 3 core values: creativity, curiosity, and levity. So I like to keep things light. So if you like to have fun, write fun in the chat. And let's chat about LinkedIn. So I'm looking at Evan's profile here, and I noticed something right away. Look at this. Evan, first of all, is saved into my Evie AI. So I know a little bit about him. I got his email. I got his phone number. I got a little quick link where I can search for him and have the internet pull up all his information. So I'm going to deploy a few different agents. I'm just going to deploy a couple over here just to kind of see what the internet says about Evan. Instead of me having to search, the internet can go off and do stuff for me. Then what I can do is I can look at his profile and I can see his services. I can see what's going on over here with his featured items here, his links, his newsletter. I can see that he posted 4 hours ago. And if I take a look at his recent posts, I'll notice that he has comments on his post. You see that? He has quite a few comments. And, one of them is from me. You may. If I want to leave him another comment, I just click in here and I put a little keyboard shortcut called Alt-G. And then a comment appears. And I can just leave that comment just like that. Do you see how that comment just appeared there? I didn't have to do much work. I just pushed a keyboard shortcut. So wouldn't it be nice to have an assistant that will draft a comment for you in your voice that can sound like you, so you don't have to actually do it yourself? And that's kind of like the key is, like, you can do things slowly in the world and waste a lot of time, or you can do things quickly and spend your time doing RGA. Do you guys know what RGA stands for? Does anyone know RGA? There are things that generate revenue, and there are activities that don't generate revenue. RGA stands for revenue generating activities. So, for example, leaving a comment on LinkedIn is not necessarily a revenue generating activity. But getting on the phone with someone, prospecting, presenting, closing, that's a revenue generating activity. You guys get what I'm saying? I just left a comment on his post. That's not generating revenue. But if I stop sharing my screen and I look at you guys and I'm having a conversation with you, now we can make referrals and generate revenue. But we still need non-revenue generating activities as part of life. You got to brush your teeth. You're not generating revenue when you're brushing your teeth, unless your teeth is a cash machine, right? It's not happening. So what you still need to do those things, but it's easier to have an electric toothbrush. It's easier to have something that will help you do it faster, more efficiently, and better. And some of you are allergic to AI, and some of you love AI. I'm curious to know, do you love it or are you allergic to it? Is it an L or is it an A? Let me know in the chat. Are you loving it? Or are you vomiting right now? Let me see. Loving it. L's. I like a lot of L's. The L word. Love that. Love that. Very nice. So if you love it, learn, and if you hate it, then it's because you probably don't know how to use it. If you hate it, then you might not know how to use it within relationships. I'll give you an example. I have a relationship with my ex. It's not a great relationship, but sometimes she sends me these really long messages. And so I have put them in AI, and it sends a loving message right back. A little condescending, but loving. You know, that's how I programmed it. Be a little condescending. Why not? But you can use it in relationships. My daughter asked me for a recipe. She's like, oh, Dad, I have all these ingredients. I don't know what to cook. Instead of me saying, figure it out, I say, oh, no problem. I can help you with that. I take a screenshot of the ingredients, throw it into AI, and boom, I have a bunch of different options. She's like, oh, my God, you're a lifesaver. Thanks. You get what I'm saying? You could use AI to enhance your relationships and be able to research people. Like, for example, if I want to enhance my relationship with Evan, I'm going to look at what my agent said about him. My agent, first of all, gave me his email, his cell phone number, his LinkedIn, his Instagram, his threads, his website, conversation starters, how he helps clients, his key services, his target market, and different agents give me different pieces of information. Like this one just gave me his email, but not his phone. This one over here gave me some information about him, but it said schedule a call from his website. And each one of them gives me different pieces of information that learn different things about him. And then what I can also do is I can pull templates. I have templates available that are prompts that make my life very easy. And so I can take these templates here and I can inject them into the agent and say, hey, why don't you do a little bit of, do me a little favor and tell me his personality, or write a networking intro for him. And now the AI will go ahead and write a professional yet conversational 150-word networking intro that will allow me to be able to recommend him to my network. Meet Evan Mestman, CEO and founder of Pro Attitudes, LLC. I have a question for you. Would it be helpful to have such technology at your fingertips that while the phone is ringing, you can just push a button and an agent will then research the internet for you? And would it be helpful if it costs you less than $1,000 a year to be able to use this unlimited to all 1.2 billion people on LinkedIn? As many as you want. There's no limit. Could you imagine if someone gave you that power? Well, that's the beauty of what we built here as a community. It wasn't just me. Sure, I came up with the idea. I paid for the developers, but everybody else invested in it to be able to use it. And that's where all the money's going to. It's going to the developers and building it out, and to OpenAI and to Claude and to God knows where. The point is, we as a community want to be able to be more efficient. And so we're investing in this as a community. We're spreading the word, and we're all benefiting from it. I'm benefiting from it because I use it every day. My developers told me, Joe, you're the biggest power user. Like, we looked at your credits. You're milking us, Joe. You're milking us, because I sometimes will leave 500 comments in a week. That's 2,000 comments in a month. That means I'm top of mind with a lot of people. Now, mind you, I do have over 1,000 people waiting to connect with me on LinkedIn. Let me quickly show you my stats on LinkedIn just so you can get an idea. If I click on my network on LinkedIn, and you see I have 29,999 people. You see that? That's a lot of people. I have a lot of people that I can connect with and build a relationship with. And if I want to connect with someone new that I just met, for example, my best friend growing up, his name was Grossman, Max Grossman. And so I'm very fond of the name Grossman. So I want to connect with Brian. So how do I connect with Brian? Well, what I could do is I could hit the connect button right over here, and I can just connect without a note. But I'm a mensch. I am a mensch. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a note. And in the note, I'm going to have AI write something for me, but I specifically want to tell the AI that I met Brian during a class. So I'm going to click on the microphone here on the bottom right corner of my assistant, and I'm going to tell my assistant the following. Brian, thank you so much for attending the training session today. I am looking forward to connecting with you, and thank you for having the same last name as my best friend growing up. Looking forward to connecting with you. And now my assistant wrote that, and I injected it into LinkedIn with the up arrow here. You see that? And now I hit send, and that's beautiful because I was able to talk to the AI instead of having to type it myself. Now I have a question for you guys. Is it easier to talk or is it easier to type? They both start with a T. In the chat, talk or type, which one's faster, which one's easier? Bob says, how many of those real people and how many of those bots? Well, the real question is, how many people do you actually know? How many people do you actually have a relationship with? And we create a dashboard that allows me to analyze who I'm actually connected to and who I actually know. And if I have 30,000 people, some of them have been deceased already. So they're not bots, but they're dead. I knew them one time. Now they went back to the stars. And so those are people that I remove. Not because I don't like them, it's because I want to make room for live people. And they are also deadbeats, people that don't respond to me. Some of them are even clients. I remove them after a while to make room for people who I will respond to me. They're called not responsive people. Some people call them deadbeats, but they're not responsive. So humans can manage only 100 relationships at any one given time in their life, as friendships, as connections. But if you're a super networker, if you're a connector, you can manage many more people, especially if you have a system. If you have a system for being able to operate with lists and being organized, you can manage thousands of people. And you could remember who they are with the help of AI, and you can take notes. Yes, there's something called the Dunbar number. I wrote about it in my book. Robin Dunbar, an anthropologist, wrote about the average human being can only have 150 relationships. But me and you, we're not average. We're way above average. We're on LinkedIn. The average person living in a village in Africa or in Malaysia or somewhere else can only handle 150 relationships. But with the help of technology, we can handle many more. Take a look at how many contacts you have on your phone. How many of them do you actually know? And you'll realize, especially if you live in a big metropolitan city, that you know a lot of people, and you get to know a lot of people, and you build a lot of relationships. You might not remember every single aspect about everybody, but that's where technology comes in. That's where notes come in. That's where lists come in. So let me show you something. Brian, for example, is a new relationship of mine that I'm building. So what I can do is I can easily enter Brian into my networking. And I see over here, I already did research on him. You see this? I have notes about him. You see this? I have an entire note about him over here. I made this note on May 8th. Can you guys see that? Right over here. I made this note about him already. I have lots of information related to him. I have his website, his LinkedIn, his Facebook, his YouTube, his phone number, his address, all his information. So I see I'm already building a relationship with Brian Grossman. Can you guys see that? Now I'm connecting to him. If I want to see all of his stuff here on LinkedIn, I could easily find his post, but I see nobody commented on his post. So I'm going to be the only person that comments on his post. And right over here, I just push a keyboard shortcut, and then the AI can easily write the comment on his post. Just like this. And this makes my life so much easier. And if for whatever reason I don't like the comment, I can always change my goal. For example, maybe over here I'm going to build rapport. My tone, instead of being funny, I want to be normal. And instead of having my satire, I can have my absolute mode. And then I hit generate, and I can try to generate the comment. And once the comment gets generated, I can press insert. I can go ahead and tag Dr. Brian if I want. You see that? And then I press comment, just like that. So this is extremely powerful, but the most powerful thing is being able to jump into our community. And we have a beautiful community of people that if you go into the community section, you'll be able to see the incredible people that are here. And this is where it's at. Being part of this, you see there's 462 comments here, and getting to know these people over time. See, that's the key. The key is there is no goal that is too big, only a timeline that is too small. There is no goal that is too big, only a timeline that is too small. So if you want to build 1,000 relationships over time and be a super connector, then you're not going to be able to do it overnight. But with LinkedIn, you'll be able to stay top of mind with many, many people. I build relationships with people by having conversations with them. My goal is 5 a day. 5 a day keeps the doctor away. 5 a day, 20 a week, 80 a month, 1,000 a year. I spoke to a neurosurgeon, and I asked him, I said, how do you keep your brain sharp even in your 80s? Because I turned 40 not too long ago. And I was like, how do I keep my brain sharp? And he said, learn a new language. Okay. Fala português, pani mais paruski, hablo espanhol, ich red Yiddish, ani medaber ivrit, learn a new language. He said, exercise, work out, your body, your muscles, you got to work out. And he's like, the most important part, he said, is have relationships, be social, put yourself out there. The more relationships, the more your brain will connect and will stay young, and you'll be able to keep your memories. And I was like, wow, that's so interesting. My grandfather kept his brain sharp till he was in his late 80s. Unfortunately, he died of cancer, but his brain was sharp. He had a full head of hair. But my grandmother, she lost her mind after she had a stroke, and she wasn't the same. The difference in my grandfather and my grandmother was more of a hermit. She stayed at home. She didn't have much relationships with people. My grandfather knew everybody. He was in shul, even though he had arthritis and he was wheelchair bound. He had his aide take him to shul, which is synagogue, three times per day, every single day, even in the bitter cold. And he was the center of the shul. Like, he was on top of everything. He knew everybody. He communicated with everyone. He was on top of his game. He was a social guy. He was an extrovert. And his mind was sharp. He saw people. He recognized them. He knew who they were. He couldn't walk, but he knew exactly who they were and what they were about. And it was just very interesting, this whole idea of building relationships and getting to know people, keeping you sharp till you're very old. So I make it my duty to just have 5 conversations every single day. Those are revenue-generating activities. I just had a conversation with an EOS trainer while I was running. To prepare for this call, I went for a 3-mile run. I tracked it on Strava, put it online. And during my call, I message people. I send WhatsApps. And I messaged this EOS trainer because I was doing an event with Evan. And his name is Evan, too. So when I'm in heaven, I meet all the Evans. And so
My grandfather used to call me Heaven Evan, like Heaven and Heaven. Yeah.
Evan and
Glad
Heaven.
that didn't happen.
So check this out. I have 99 different LinkedIn hacks. And one of my 99 hacks is to go in here and search by first name. And if you search by first name, you can find all the Evans you're connected to. You see that? So whenever I add a new connection that's a person, like, for example, Evan, I will then go and hit up all the other Evans. Whenever I have a relationship with someone, there's a reason why God put a person in front of me, why the universe put a person in front of me. And usually it has to do with their name. So if the name Evan is coming out of the blue, I'm going to hit up the other Evans. And sometimes that's what turns into an opportunity. I learned that a while ago. I was like, oh, Samantha. Ooh, let me look up all my Samanthas. And I started hitting up all the Samanthas. And I started hitting up all the Janes and all the Does and all the whatever. And I just go for it. And so whenever I get a new person, I accept a new person into my life, then I start looking at who else in my life has that name. Because, memory is by association. Did you guys know that? Memory is by association. If you try to remember 1,000 words related to what's in your house, you're only going to remember 100 of those words. But if you just separate the words into rooms of your house, you'll be able to remember 90% of the words. You'll do bathroom, kitchen, and you'll remember 1,000 items, like 900 of the 1,000 items in your house, if you just separate it by room. Do you get what I'm saying? Memory is by association. And so I associated Brian with my best friend. Now I'm going to remember Brian. I'll remember his last name. It'll be easy for me to remember. When I go to a networking event, I associate different things. I go, like, oh my God, that guy looks like a whale. And so I kind of just go. I'm like, oh my God, I love your suit. I love what you're doing. And blah, blah, blah. And we have a whole conversation. And I get to know him. I have him scan my QR code. And so I went through my Evans and I messaged this guy and we had a conversation. And that was one of my 5 conversations of the day. Because he messaged me. He's like, is it a bad time to do a call because I'm driving and I can't type? And I was like, absolutely, call me. And we had a great conversation. And now he's going to put me in front of 55 people that are business consultants that each serve businesses that are over $5 million in revenue. And so we're scheduling that out. Next Wednesday, we're going to meet and talk about that. But think about the opportunity that I got because I was proactive. I reached out, and because I used my little trigger to be able to do that. Now, I reached out to many other Evans. They didn't respond to me. You have to be willing to take rejection. So I'm curious to know, are you guys interested in learning more how you can get a deal on Evie AI? Now, many of you already have it. I know Jane has it and Jacqueline has it. But if you're interested in getting a deal, there's a special deal. And because Evan is the affiliate of this event, if you sign up today, if you don't have it and you want to sign up today, Evan's going to get a commission as a result of that. Whether you're watching the live or whether you're watching the replay, you can hit Evan up for his special link. He has a special link that he can include where he can benefit financially if you guys decide. But I'm also going to make it so good, the deal so good, that it just makes sense for you to be able to grab the deal. And by the way, Evan, I see you put your affiliate link in the chat, which is awesome. Do you guys see Evan's affiliate link in the chat? So what
That's not why I did this.
No, of
This
course
is
not.
not about, it's about the value that this brings to my life. Using this tool, I like to share it with other people. But it's nice that Joe is that giving. He does this with everybody.
And I love
Because I've
that.
been working with him for over 4 years now.
I love that. I love that you're saying that. And it's 100% true. And if you guys don't believe it, you can always go to my LinkedIn recommendations and kind of see what people are saying about me. So I put a link to I think that's the bundle link. Let me just click on it, which is a special deal. Let me click on the bundle link and see if it goes. It actually went to the original link. So let me try to fix that. app.eviai.com/Evan/bundle. Let me just go in here and paste that in here so you guys have the actual bundle link. Let me click on that and see if it works. That took me in there. app.eviai.com/?bundle ? Hang on a second. Sorry, I'm writing Evan's bundle link thing. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if that works. That should give you guys a special deal. There you go. That gives you guys a special deal. So if you guys go to that link, Evan will get credit if you sign up. This is called the bundle. For those of you that don't already have the bundle, we give out $10,000 worth of training. I know Dale's a client, and many of you are already clients. But we give out $10,000 worth of training for just $984 a year. And we support you and hold your hand through the process of getting new clients from LinkedIn. So for me, it's all about building relationships, getting to know people. So if you're interested in this, just write interested in the chat so that I know that you guys are interested in this. Jane says, you're a huge asset too. Evan, your sessions help us put all this together. So Evan has been a client for many years, and we've been training him, but he still learns something new every time he watches. Every time he joins, he learns something new. And I'm going to teach you guys some pretty cool new things here today as well that maybe you haven't already seen. But I just want to make this offer available to you for those of you that don't already have it. I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't make this deal available to you. So we have a course that has 9 modules with frameworks, checklists, cheat sheets, scripts, prompts, templates, custom for you in your business, helping you be able to create a strategy for LinkedIn. And if you don't already have a strategy, we'll help you build that strategy. And if you're not an affiliate yet, if you're a client but you're not an affiliate yet, I highly recommend you sign up as an affiliate and you build yourself 2 little links. One for the regular version of EviAI and one for the bundle version. The bundle version is app.eviai.com/bundle ? Via equals whatever your affiliate name is. His is Evan. Yours might be Jane. Yours might be Heather, whatever it is. But set it up and have your affiliate link set up as a template so you can send it to people when you're having a conversation with them. You're like, listen, I can get you in with a deal. You could pay $2,400 a year for what the bundle, what EviAI Pro regularly costs, or you can get the bundle. Yes, you can make monthly payments. It's $197 a month for that if you want. Okay, so let's break this down and teach you something interesting. But check this out. Evan, you don't know this yet, but this morning I decided to add some super prompts to our community. So if you go into our classroom, if you're a bundle member, you have access to the library, and you'll see right over here these prompts. So I have this prompt called the Hormozi $100 million offer prompt. So you can put any topic you want. You can add the context, and then you could either make it a persona or use this right inside EviAI. And you're giving it instructions. Look at this. Look at the level of instructions that you're giving it here. You'll write in a Spartan tone, clear language, employ short, impactful sentences, use the active voice, avoid a passive voice. You see that? Don't use emojis. Don't use askerts. Don't use adjectives. Do not use any of these words. And then your goal is to write a viral social media post based on the provided sources. Analyze the provided sources thoroughly. Study example A and B. Do you see that? And here are some examples. And then the output, follow the following guidelines. Do you guys see the level of this post? So you can actually enter this right into the AI writer over here. and then you can get something written that's really, really cool. So how do you come up with the ideas for what to write about? We actually have an idea generator inside Evie AI where you can come up with any idea. So for example, networking for beginners. I misspelled it, but that's okay. I'm going to type in networking for beginners. AI should know what that is. What's the biggest challenge you face when you're starting to network? Networking doesn't have to be intimidating. What's one step that you share with beginners? How has your approach to networking evolved since it first started? In your experience, what's the most effective way to follow up after a meeting? Do you see that? These are all topics. So I'm going to go ahead and hit generate post related to this particular topic and just see what the AI will write in literally under 10 seconds. You'll have a hook, main points, call to action, and hashtags. You see that? Have you ever walked away from a networking event feeling energized but unsure what to do next? Making connections is just the beginning. The real magic happens in the follow-up. In my experience, the most effective way to follow up after a meeting someone is to be genuine and specific. An example is, it was great to meet you, can go a long way, but adding a personal touch makes it memorable. Referencing something that was discussed or share an article that aligns with your interests. This shows that you were actively engaged and value the connection. Timing is crucial. Aim to follow up 24 to 48 hours while it's still fresh. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another tool. Now that I already have this, just to kind of show you how powerful this is, I can use a tool where I already cloned myself. And then I can go ahead and create a video that's a landscape video or a portrait video. In this case, I'm using it for LinkedIn, so we're going to do landscape. And then what I can do is I can choose one of my hyper-realistic videos just like this, and then I can add the post right over here, just like this, the one that I created with Evie AI. And then I can just hit how to follow up, and then I hit submit, and within just a few minutes, I'm going to have a video of myself talking with whatever Evie AI created over here. Now, I want you guys just to take a moment and think about the power of that. The power of having yourself being able to say things with your own mouth, in your own voice, without you having to even write the script. You have Evie AI, push a few buttons, get access to a few tools, and then boom, there you go. So powerful. Brian says, can Evie AI learn about your specific coaching and personality so the post sounds like you? 100%. We call that personas. So let me show you, Brian. On the left side here, I'm going to click on personas. You guys see this? I have something called a chill vibes persona. And I have many other personas, but I'm going to show you my chill vibes persona, which you guys may have already seen. If I click on edit, it says, from now on, all your responses will have typos and bad grammar. Don't use perfect English. Make mistakes like real humans do when talking really fast. Misspell words. Sometimes forget pronunciation. Use the wrong tense and make it sound casual like you're talking to a friend. Use phrases like you know and like and stuff, and don't capitalize the right word using. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So you can go on and be very, very, very specific with how you show up. You can tell it everything about you, like my keywords, my profession, my field of expertise, my skills, my communication, my tone, my preferred phrases, my taboos, my goals, my networking, the content, the podcasts. Everything that I want to be able to share can be put into the persona up to 2,000 characters you can include here. And this will sound like you. Brian said, stop talking about me. That's funny. But do you guys see what I'm talking about? Like training the AI, like someone's like, have you ever heard of bad carpenter? He's like, oh, the hammer is terrible. It doesn't work. It's a terrible hammer. I'm like, dude, you're just a terrible carpenter. Like, you learn to use the hammer. AI is a tool just like a hammer. Learn how to use the hammer. And if everything looks like a nail, to a hammer, everything looks like a nail. That's the famous saying. So AI is whatever you want it to be. Like, literally, it could be anything you want it to be. I recently saw this Instagram reel where this guy was playing an audio clip. And the audio clip sounded like a particular word. But then he had a list of words. And every time I looked at that word, that's what the audio clip sounded like. He had like literally 10 separate words. And he's like, this shows that whatever you look at is what you actually hear and whatever you perceive. Your perception creates what the audio is. Because the truth is, we're not really hearing anything. There's noises and vibrations coming up. We're just taking that vibration and we're making it mean something. So it's the same thing with the AI. You can have it role play and be anything. Literally anything you want. That's the beauty of artificial intelligence, where you can have it sound like you, act like you, do anything you want, And I'll prove to you in just a few minutes. I literally made a video of myself talking, and it actually looks like me and sounds like me. Now, is it perfect? It's never going to be perfect. I didn't even listen to it. I didn't even download it yet. I didn't do any of that. But my point is, you can use technology to get almost to the level of you doing it yourself, and it gets you 80% there. Then you go in there and edit it a little bit. Then you go in there and take it to the next level. That's the idea. And if you can take it to the next level, that's what's going to help you be able to start leveraging technology properly. So here are the things that I want everybody to do each day. Number one is get exposure. You have a network of people, correct? How many people are in your network? In the chat, tell me right now, how many connections do you have in your network right now? First-degree connections. Evan, thanks for hosting. Joe, thanks for adding me. Joe, hey, I'm to my Joe overload. I need to take a call. Thank you, Mike. Okay, Susan said 4,000, 8,000, 2,000. We have something called a LinkedIn Connections dashboard. And on the 28th, we're actually going to be doing a webinar about the LinkedIn Connections dashboard and how to use it. I always tell people you got to get organized around your connections. And I'm having my developers integrate the dashboard into Evi AI, which is going to be completely the next level, and none of you are going to have to pay extra for it. So you're going to be able to determine which one of your connections are responsive to you, kind of like what Bob said. Which one of them are a bot, are likely to be a bot. Eventually, the AI is going to figure all this out on its own, and it's going to help you sort and organize all your connections based on your interactions with them. This is my vision for the sales assistant to be an actual assistant where it goes out and prospects for you, finds you people, builds a relationship for you, gets you on the phone with them, schedules it, all that jazz. I see that happening in the very near future. But we need to prepare, because if you just give the AI 8,000 connections, or in Evan's case, 9,000 connections, what's the AI going to do with it? But if he knows who's an H7, if he knows who was a client, if the AI knows who's actually a person that you know well, who comes to the accountability meetings every week, who have I emailed back and forth with, who do I actually like, who do I dislike, like all the different things. What are the facts, fun facts that I know about the person that nobody else knows? Who did I do shrooms with? Like all the things that you need to know to train the AI properly. Think about that. Who are the people that are brothers from another mother's or sisters from another mister? Like who are those people? And so if you have a lot of people, like, in Brian's case, he has 2,900. Let's segment, organize. Let's make sense out of your network so we know who are the most juiciest people that we need to squeeze. We need to squeeze those juicy people so that they make us some lemon juice so that we can hydrate. That's the idea. Figure out who we can build a relationship with, who deserves our attention, who's responsive, who's posting, who's active, who has premium. Like who are the people that we actually enjoy being around? And by the way, if you have 1,000 people that know you, like you, and trust you, that's enough to generate at least $100,000 a year. That's at least $100,000 a year if you have 1,000 people that know you, like you, and trust you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to post on LinkedIn. I'm going to go ahead and post on LinkedIn.
Have you ever...
And I'm going to share with you guys how I post, because you guys might not know how to post. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this video right over here. I'm going to share my audio so you guys can hear my audio. Share audio. Share. And watch this video real quick.
Walked away from a networking event feeling energized but unsure of what to do next?
Okay, so that's the video. So I'm going to take this video and I'm going to post it on LinkedIn. So this is how you do it. You go to the homepage of LinkedIn. You click on Start a Post. And then you click on Add a Video. You find the video. In this case, I just downloaded it. And then I press Next. And then I put in whatever EviAI wrote for me. I read it real quick. I'm going to write over here, OMG, what to do. Okay, so I just added my little juice over there. You see I sprayed it with a little bit of Joe Sparkle in there. Okay, and now I'm going to hit post. And now it's uploading the video. And now I just posted on LinkedIn. Now it's likely that hundreds of people are going to see that video. It's very likely that hundreds of people are going to see that video. Mind you, I didn't come up with the script for the video. I didn't even say anything. You guys get what I'm saying? I just added my little 2 cents. I didn't come up with the idea for the video. Do you guys remember who came up with the idea for the video? My assistant helped me out. But it was trained with my persona. I did prompt it a little bit. Eventually, you won't even have to prompt it. It'll just come up with the idea, come up with the script, post it for you, and you just sit there, watch, relax, and just enjoy and make sure that it all makes sense and have conversations. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? Somebody's like, Joe, but you're building Evie AI. If AI is going to be able to do everything for you, why do people even need Evie AI? Because they're going to use Evie AI. Your AI is going to use Evie AI. You're going to have your Skynet using Evie AI. That's my goal. Because Evie AI is going to know who your connections are. A Skynet doesn't just know. Do you get what I'm saying? And plus, you'll have me to entertain you. That's what I think we're all going to end up doing. We're end up just going to be a bunch of entertainers. Some of you are going to dance. Some of you are going to sing. Some of you are going to cut watermelon. Even though the AI can cut the watermelon, but you're going to cut it just to show people how you creatively cut watermelon in ways that the AI would never, because it's not appropriate the way that you cut watermelon with that T-shirt. AI can't do things that are dangerous, but humans can. Do you get what I'm saying? Like things that are completely out of the box, like put a knife in your nose. I saw David Blaine do that recently with a Netflix documentary. Did you guys see that David Blaine National Geographic documentary? He went to Brazil, episode 1, and he went to the favelas. Do you guys know what the favelas are in Brazil? Google it later. It's interesting. There's hundreds of thousands of people that just put together makeshift homes in poor neighborhoods, and they have a whole ecosystem, and they just allow it to be. They just took over a spot and decided to build themselves makeshift homes. And there's very interesting things. People have to survive there. And so they have like little mini circuses within the market, and people like do things like Times Square kind of, you know? So some people jump through fires. Some people like walk on tightrope above the favelas. Like it's just super interesting. So imagine you had a group of even just 100 people that knew you, liked you, and trusted you, and were willing to comment on your stuff. That's what we make available within Evie AI. So let's test this out. Let's go into Evie AI, click on the 3 little dots on the top right corner, hit copy link to post, and then I'm going to go into the chat over here and just share this link to the post in the chat, just like that. Do you guys see the way I just shared the link? So go ahead. You don't see in the comments of the Zoom, Kim? There's a link that you can click on. Let me know if you're able to see it. Good. You give me a thumbs up. Thank you. So click on that. And tell me if it's easy for you to leave a comment on that post. Now, you could use Evie AI to leave a comment. Or you can manually just write a comment about what you think about this class or your follow-up strategy, whatever your follow-up strategy is after events. Personally, for me, is I connect with people on LinkedIn. I add them to a list. I do AI research. And then if I have their phone number, because AI found it for me, I will often send them a WhatsApp message or a text message. Or I'll call them and say, hey, leave them a voicemail, because chances are it's going to go to voicemail. The other day, I sent a guy an in-mail. This woman named Amelia that I'm going to be speaking to in a few minutes. I have a call with her. This woman named Amelia said, Joe, I want to meet CFOs in Tampa. So you know what I did? I went on Sales Navigator. I selected CFOs in Tampa. You guys remember this. But what you might not know is that the guy's name is John. There was one CFO I messaged, and I said, are you really a CFO? And then I wrote him a message. He did not respond to the message. He said he saw it because it came in as an email to him and a notification on his phone, but he was busy at a networking event. Then I proceeded to do AI research on him, found his cell phone number, called him 3 times. He didn't pick up any of the 3 times. I felt ashamed because how dare you not pick up my phone? I'm a stranger calling you. We don't even have mutual connections. How dare you not pick up the phone when I call? You know, I'm the most important stardust in the world. Anyway, so I call him up. He doesn't pick up. I left him a voicemail. He calls me the next day. I see a guy named John calling. I don't even know who it is. I'm like, hello? He's like, all right, did you call me yesterday? I was like, who are you? He's like, I'm a CFO in Tampa. I was like, oh, shizdles, I remember you. I was like, I left you a comment on your post. You didn't reply. I sent you an email. You didn't reply. And I called you 3 times. What's up? He's like, I was at a networking event. I apologize. What do you need? I was like, I was hoping that you would actually need something. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I was hoping you would want more clients from LinkedIn, and I see no one's commenting on your stuff, and you have thousands of followers and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh my God, this is exactly what I was praying for. And I was like, okay, let's do a demo right now and sign you up. And he's like, all right. And he did a demo and he signed up and he became a paid client. I reached out to one person, one for one. Now, in honesty, I also reached out to 800 other people this month, and most of them didn't respond to me. That was separately. But that one incident in that one time where I reached out, it happened to be the next day the guy called me back. That happens. Will it happen every single time? No, but that's the name of the game. Prospecting, you're not going to get the answers. But the beauty is, if you introduce me to someone, the likelihood of me getting on the phone is 80%. That's the beauty of networking and building real relationships. Evan introduced me to somebody named Ariel. The guy sent me his cell phone number. I called him. He didn't pick up. But we're already going back and forth in email. That's fine. We're going to get booked into a meeting. 80% chance we're going to get on a call because Evan made the introduction. Do you guys understand? Borrowing someone else's trust is so powerful. So this is what I'm a very big fan of doing that, of making a list. And so my question to you is, do you have your list of 100 people that know you, like you, and trust you, that you had a call with so far this year, that you're constantly checking to see if they posted on LinkedIn and commenting on their posts? Or do you need your list of 100 people? Let me know in the chat. These are people that are in the position to refer business to you. Do you have your centers of influence or do you not? Now, if you don't have your 100, do you have 10? If you don't have your 10, let's get to work. Say, I need my 10, or say, I need my 100. Where are you? If you don't have them, the first step is making a list inside EviAI. I would call the list VIP. Make a VIP list and add 10 people there that you want to be in touch with daily, that you want to leave a comment on their post daily. So this is really powerful. If you need it, we do it together. This is what we do in the community. So if you need it, we build these lists together. We're going to have something called a prospecting party. We're going to have a bunch of different parties because many community leaders are stepping up and they want to lead community meetings. So if you don't have your influencers list, put it together. If you don't have your daily 25, put it together. Jane has her daily 25. Put it together. Get to know people. I would love to know what fun facts you know about each person. Like, be intentional. You don't need millions of people, but you need the right 1,000 over the course of a year. 1,000 people that know you, like you, and trust you over the course of a year, not over the course of one day. Nothing happens in a day. I planted a tomato seed. Nothing happened the first day. I didn't even get mold. I got nothing. But then I went away to Vancouver for a day, and when I came back, I saw a little green thing shooting up from the thing, and I was like, "Yay! My tomato plant has broken ground! Yay!" I literally took a slice of tomato, buried it in soil, put some water, gave it a kiss, covered it with some glass, and have a good day. Put it in the sun. Gave it a little bit of water with some banana sauce in it. A little banana water. Because it has nitrogen or whatever. A little fertilizer. But it's cool, right? Isn't it amazing what you can do? What you can plant a seed, but it doesn't happen in one day. That's going to become a big-ass tomato plant. But it's not going to take one day. It's going to take 13 weeks. It's going to take 6 months. It's going to take time. It takes time for
It
things.
takes intention. Not just goals, but intention. Goals focus on being busier, doing more. Intention focuses on being, getting out there and doing the things that matter most. And that's what EviAI allows us to do.
Because it saves so much time. Let me show you something else. I'm going to show you something else. Check this out. So I'm here on this post over here. I'm going to copy this post, the link to this post. I'm going to paste it in here just to kind of look. See who commented on this post. So I see Dale liked it. A couple of other people, Dr. Brian, Helen liked it, Namal liked it. You see that? These are the people that liked the post so far. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to hit reply. Now, I do have a comment reply thing. So I have a comment reply persona. So I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to have the AI draft a reply. So it says, I appreciate the engagement. It knows that I'm replying. You see that? The way it knows that I'm replying, you see it says reply up here? So I'm just literally replying to each person because I think it's a best practice to reply to people when they comment on your post. You see? So I reply to every person. Most people don't reply to anybody because it takes too much time. But as you can see, instead of me taking hours and hours and hours to do this, I just push some buttons and now it's all done. You see how easy that is? Okay, so now I'm going to go here, click on Heather, pull up her post right over here, see what she's up to. And over here she posted 5 hours ago. You see that? Oh, look how cute that is. I'm going to go here. I'm going to change this to satire. I'm going to go here. I'm going to make this funny. So I'm still adding my love to this. You see that? I'm still adding my stuff to this. So it's still me. I'm the one deciding to pick funny, satire, you see that? I'm the one deciding this. It's still me, but I don't have to actually do all the work. I can have an assistant help me. Somebody once got upset because my assistant was booking a meeting with them instead of me. I was like, you want me to clean the toilet? You sound like my ex-wife. The cleaning lady's doing it, so that's why you're upset. I'm like, get a life. You know, like, what do you want from me? I don't want to have to clean the toilet. Yeah, but you took the dump. I'm like, what? Leave me alone. There's a cleaning lady. Let them do the work. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like we have an assistant. Let the assistant do the work. Stop getting annoyed at me. It's stupid things. Let's find better things to get annoyed at each other. You know, like I'm late again. Let's get annoyed at that. I promised I would be here and I didn't keep my word. Let's do a quick selfie, guys. Look at the camera if you don't mind. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Amazing. Now, why do you think I did a selfie? Why do you think I did that? Because I wanted to give you guys a gift. I wanted to give you guys a gift to be able to write about this. So I put the selfie, exactly, Heather. I want to give you guys a gift. I wanted you to remember the moment. Now, when I go to events, I take selfies with everyone that I have a meaningful relationship with. That's my follow-up strategy. And then I say, would you like me to text this to you? Especially if the person is a whale. And I look at them and I was like, would you like me to text this to you? And like, yeah, of course. I was like, you know what? I just realized I don't really have your cell phone number. Put it in. And they put in their phone number and I send them the selfie. And now they know who I am. And now I save it. And then boom. Now I can keep the conversation going. Do you guys get what I'm saying? That's not the reason I take the selfie. I take the selfie to remember the connection that we had, the relationship that we had. And then I post a selfie on social media as well. So I want you guys to really think about the idea of connectivity and relationship building. Create high value posts and get your connections to comment on them. I'll give you an example of a high value post. I'm going to share my screen right now real quick just to show you one. If you guys have not created a business networking one sheet, and I see, Evan, you don't really have one as your main one on your featured posts, but
It's there, but you got to scroll farther.
So
I have too many of them.
I would recommend pinning it to the beginning and getting at least 100 likes and 100 comments on it. And if you haven't done one for 2025, do a new one for 2025. So I'll still go and look at yours, but do you see the way I got 100 likes and 100 comments on my business networking one sheet? That wasn't natural. That didn't just come automatically. That was something I had to work on. Can EviAI create a digital business card for us? Yes, it can create a digital business card for you, but it's on the roadmap for you to be able to share it publicly with a QR code and everything. That's something that we're on the roadmap of building out. But if you don't have one finished, I'm going to show you how quickly I make a business networking one sheet for Jane. So because Jane is a client, I'm going to make her one right now. So I'll show you how quickly we make business networking one sheets. And we make this all that's available for our clients. So I'm going to hit save as PDF. I just saved her profile as a PDF, which is one of my 99 hacks that I teach people. Now I'm going to go into a special GPT that we have. So I have a bunch of different GPTs that are available. This one in particular is called a Business Networking One Sheet GPT. And I spoke about GPTs in our AI circle. And now I'm going to say, make her a one sheet. Okay, and that's all I have to say. Make her a one sheet, and it goes and it creates a business networking one sheet for Jane. Now it's building out all the content for Jane in the way that my business networking one sheet, including her phone number, her email address, the best way to contact her, her links, her current projects. You see that? Her skills, who she is, who she wants to meet, her centers of influence. Do you guys see this? Pretty impressive, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this with Jane. I have to wait till it finishes doing its thing. But I'm going to share this with Jane so Jane can then put it into the Canva template we give her. You see that? I'm going to copy this link, and I'm going to share it privately with Jane. And this way, Jane has access to this. And boom, there we go. Do you see how fast we do things? We don't waste a lot of time. So the goal is for us to build relationships, get to know each other, and work smarter, not harder. So if you want to work smarter, write smarter in the chat. I'd love to see who wants to work smarter. All right. And if you guys got any value today, let me know what value you got from this. Now, LinkedIn has two different user experiences when it comes to messaging people. It has the user experience of messaging people through the messaging thing, just like I just entered the ChatGPT here. You see, I'm messaging them through linkedin.com/messaging. Given I have not worked with you personally, are you looking to give me a recommendation on LinkedIn regarding the presentation you gave? Yes. What did you love most about the presentation? And then she said, appreciate that. What wasn't to love? Nuggets and how to use LinkedIn efficiencies and time savers and blah, blah, blah. You see that? And then I said, would you be willing to leave me a recommendation? So these are one of the hacks that I use to get recommendations. The first question I say, what did you love most about it? And then I say, would you be willing to leave me a recommendation? And then she's like, but I haven't worked with you, but you did a presentation. Would you be willing to do that? Do you want that? And then I give myself a round of applause. Why not? Because I'm about to get a recommendation. Or maybe I won't, but whatever. But there's a step-by-step process that you do to get recommendations. By the way, have you received a recommendation yet in May? May the recommendation be with you. If you haven't, come to the recommendation party we're hosting this week. May 21st, tomorrow, Rick is hosting a recommendation party where you will all get a guaranteed recommendation for attending. So if you want a new recommendation from someone that knows you, likes you, and trusts you within our community, come to the party. And if you're not a member yet of Evie AI and you'd like to join, just say, I'd like to join in the chat so that I know that you want to join. Or just write, want to come, want to join, want to be there. Jane says, got a link for that meeting with Rick? Yes. It's school.com/EVI/calendar. School.com/EVI/calendar. That's where it is.
It's so much more than the app. This is about the relationships that we build, how we support each other. That's why I love this community. It really comes together and nobody's by themselves. We all support each other and help each other. We hold each other accountable. And that's why I love working with Joe. And that's really why I did this, is that I want more people to realize this is what we all need to help each other grow. And Joe, you provide so much value. It's not like he just built this and it's done. Every week he gives us something new that helps us to get faster or to learn more. It's just amazing. I love it.
Awesome. Guys, check out those prompts in the classroom that I just added to the prompt library. I just added literally over a dozen incredible prompts for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, video scripts, like you name it. You know what I do? I'm a value scavenger. I'm always looking for value. I'm always looking like, how can I add more? You guys already paid. I don't have to do anything else. But I'm always looking to just keep adding more and more and more value. For some people, it's a little overwhelming. But for other people, they actually love it. And they're like, oh my God, I love that I just keep getting more and more value and not having to pay more, which is awesome. For me, that's what I would love. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it for people that are kind of like me, that love value. So if you love value, write love value. I'll keep scavenging. I keep finding things and bringing you more and more berries, making you guys more and more fat with all the fats that I keep finding everywhere. And realize that once you have your list of people and you know who your people are, then it's all about nurturing those people and turning it into a garden. The first step is go out and find the people. Once you have the people, bring them together and keep them together. And my opinion is there's no better thing to do than to run a regular event. So if you haven't been running regular events, I recommend running one. If you're not sure what to run, you could run one within our community, or you could run an event. Outside of the community, and I'm happy to present at your event if you want. So if you'd like to come, just let me know. So Evan, what did you hear so far today? Hello?
What did I hear? What I heard was, to me, I love this stuff because, I've been using this for how many years now? How long ago did you create this? a year or
I'll
two
be there.
ago. And to me,
Thank you.
what really matters is every time I go through these trainings with him, I learn another tool. I learn how to use this in a better way. He makes my life easier. So those are the things that I've learned. Like that's my takeaway is the more that I get involved, the more that that's why I also run the accountability pod. It's partly selfish. It helps me to understand how to do more and get more done.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being
Oh,
here.
you're on mute, Joe.
Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next session. 5 p.m. today. See Evan in the accountability meeting. Bye,
Yes.
everybody. Appreciate you guys.